Eric just got home from work, and I have a little surprise for you that was in the mailbox.
Bonjour.
Bonjour. I've been baking today, so the counter is quite dirty. But anyway, we got a special package in the mail today, and I thought I would reveal it to you. Are you ready?
Yes.
It's from Diane and Matt, the Europats. What do you think it is? What would Texans send?
Walleye or crappie or some sort of...
Something that smells horrible. Revenge. Nope. Are you ready?
steer manure.
Nope.
What is it? Oh my God. Oh my God. Buc-ee's.
Yeah, we know Buc-ee's.
Yeah.
Road trip food.
Never been there, but
I've been there. I've been to a Buc-ee's.
not many.
Weren't you with me? Oh,
No.
sorry.
That was your other
It was
husband.
another husband. Cut that thing open. Okay, I'm going to say Diane is still mad at me from afar because I sent salmon and it smelled up her house.
Oh my God. Wow.
See.
There's a lot going on.
There's something going on. Oh, holy cow.
Wow. It's like a whole breakfast. Just like a plate of pancakes and waffles and something and crunchy and...
Yeah, you're right. You sent me something much nicer than I sent you. All right, don't eat all of them. We're going to have dinner.
Okay.
Bye. Thank you. All right, quickly, let's make a drink.
Retire boldly, Alaska to France. Today we're making the Enzone, which is a derivative of a Negroni. So,
What is it?
Enzone.
Enzoni. Okay. This could be a football drink. Enzone.
Wow. I was thinking an Italian derivative. Anywho. So, 5 or 6 grapes. What kind of grapes are these?
Those are teardrop grapes? No. I don't remember.
Dangly bit grapes. Muddled.
They are teardrops. They're teardrops.
Okay. 1 ounce of dry gin. 1 ounce of Campari. Yum. 1 ounce of lemon juice. Actually, 3/4. And a 1/2 ounce of simple syrup. Shake. And you can get your big chunks of grape in there. That's okay. I've made this before.
That was gross.
Yeah. That's good.
Bonjour. Welcome back to Retire Boldly, Alaska to France. This week's episode, in preparation for the big scouting trip I'm doing next month, I thought that I would go over what it really costs to do a scouting trip. The reason that I'm doing this is because I saw a comment in one of the chats or another YouTube video where someone said, it's one thing to do scouting trips when you live in England. It's another thing to do them when you live in America. The cost to fly from the United States over to France, and it's a huge cost for airline. You want to go for a longer period of time, of course, so that you have a chance to really look around. So you're looking at, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month. And it's very expensive to do that, especially with the exchange rate currently from US dollars to euro. So I thought that I would go over what I have figured for my trip to do a scouting trip to France. So let's go over it. I have it in a spreadsheet. So I thought I would start this is day by day, and I'm going to go through most of it pretty quickly. But what I did for my flights to save money is that I used air miles. We have Alaska Airline miles. I also have a British Airways Visa, which gives me Avios I think that's how you say that. So I've been keeping those for quite a long time and really accruing a lot. So I was able to purchase my flights from Ketchikan to Seattle, and that's all on one ticket. It's a round trip, Ketchikan, Seattle, Seattle, Ketchikan. And then I did a one-way trip from Seattle to Paris. And then I did another one-way trip from Paris back to Seattle. So I used air miles for the first part, the all the Ketchikan Seattle round trip, and then I used Alaska Airline miles for Seattle to Paris, and that will be on Iceland Air. And then I used British Airway miles to go from Paris back to Seattle. So I'm going to go over this really quickly. I don't want to make it a really long video. I'm just basically all you're looking for is the price at the end, I'm sure. I did do the average cost analysis of what it cost from like Dallas, LA. And I will say that if you're in New York, you can get cheaper flights all the time. But those are a couple of the hubs. And I was looking at prices. The average round trip economy flight from US to Paris in the shoulder season. I wanted to be sure that I was looking in the shoulder season, because if you're going on a scouting trip, I think you should be going in the shoulder season or the low season so that you can have a better idea of what these towns are like to live in. Because I'm going to see what it looks like for the whole year, not what it might look like at the height of the tourist season, when everything is open. I can tell you from experience that in the height of the summer here in Ketchikan, when there's 15,000 tourists getting off of cruise ships every day, this town is hopping. And there's lots of stuff to do. But if you drove down the street in the middle of February, if we had such things here, there would be tumbleweeds flowing down the streets. It's very, very quiet, and a lot of businesses are closed for the winter. So this is for me, of course. Your costs for travel are going to be different, but for me, I have to overnight in Seattle. So I'm going to be down there. I'm going to rent a car at SeaTac and use it to get to where I'll be staying. And I'm doing that because it's $75 to rent a car for one day, but to hire an Uber to go from SeaTac to downtown, it's like 50 to $70 just for one way. It's cheaper to rent a car. So those are just the initial costs for my first day. And then the next day is going to be when I fly out. You can see that I am getting a mani-pedi in Seattle, so that'll be fun. So the first day that I fly out is on Iceland Air on October 22. I'll be leaving Seattle. I don't get to Paris until the 23rd, and I'm having a private car pick me up at Charles de Gaulle Airport. I'll tell you why I'm doing that. By this time, I will have been traveling for 2 solid days, overnighting in Seattle. That's lugging your luggage around, and I am trying to just take carry-on. So I'll have a backpack and a carry-on. So I'll be lugging that stuff around. And when I get there, I'm going to be exhausted. I'm about 10 or 11 hours off of Paris time. So I'll be, if I land at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, it's going to feel like 3 o'clock in the morning to me. So I just want somebody to be standing there with my name, and I want them to say, let me have your luggage, get in this car, I'm driving you to your hotel. And it seems like a luxury, and it is. This is also a birthday trip for me. I'm going to turn 60, and I'm very excited. And I just decided on this trip, I'm going to treat myself for a few things here and there. So this is one of the things I'm treating myself. So then I'm going to go to my hotel. I'm going to use that day to really try to acclimate myself. I get there fairly late in the afternoon, so I might go out and have dinner, might not, don't know. So now we're up to this. I mean, this is all just the first couple of days of travel. Then I'm in Paris. You can see the hotel cost on this day, $199. That's a very inexpensive hotel in Paris. I looked for a really long time. I am I used to do setting up executive travel, so I know all the places to look. And this is it's a very expensive city for hotels, so just bear that in mind. Food, a little bit more for breakfast, lunch, dinner in Paris, so I've done it at 75. Entertainment, I thought, I don't know, maybe to keep myself awake and going for that day, I might just go see a show, something. So I'm allocating some extra money to make sure I can power through that time zone. Then the next day is when I go to Bordeaux. And again, I've treated myself to first class on the train. And I thought, I'm going to do this because probably forevermore, I'm just going to be taking the train as usual, as normal. Note, if you are going over there, make sure you give them your age, because if you're 60, like I will be, it is less expensive. So, and honestly, the first class was not that much more than regular. So why not? Why not treat yourself? And then I got another hotel. You can see the price of the hotel in Bordeaux, much less expensive than Paris. Again, I've allocated $50 for food. Now, I don't eat a lot. Full disclosure, I had surgery years ago to lose weight. Weight was a major issue for me my entire life, and so I don't really eat that much anymore. So it saves money. Eric and I quite often will go out and just share something, and he'll eat like 3/4 of it, and I'll eat 1/4 of it. So I haven't allocated very much for food. And then entertainment, again, this is for like, souvenirs, things like that. And then again, we've got Bordeaux. I've allocated $100 for this day in Bordeaux because I do want to go over to the wine museum. I've heard it's incredible. And I'd love to get the boat over, do the whole wine museum. You can see I'm going to be in Bordeaux. And I did go over one time in another video that I'm going to do a walking tour. I've kind of set up my own little walking tour to just do the town and go by a bunch of the different monuments in Bordeaux. So that'll be exciting. And a walking tour costs you nothing. And food, entertainment, again, maybe I'm picking up some souvenirs here and there. Just figured $50 for just incidental stuff. And then on the 28th, I am going to go rent a car. Now, I use Budget Rent a Car because I have an account with them, and they have rental cars everywhere, all over the world. And $430 from the 28th of October till November 9th, I thought that was a really great price. And I checked the credit card that I will be using to rent the car. They cover you for rental car insurance no matter where you're at in the world. So here's a hot tip. Call your credit card company and see if your credit card does cover you for rental car insurance in a foreign country. Some do, some don't. So good to look out. Oh, and another thing, somebody else asked me, are you using your phone? Are you getting a SIM card? What are you doing? Well, I have Verizon Ultimate Plan, and what that allows me to do is use my phone in France. So right now for this particular trip, I can use my phone for calls, for texting, and it is at no additional charge. So there you go. Check with your phone company. They might have a really good plan for when you're traveling abroad. And then I will be driving the rental car down to Villeneuve-sur-Lot, and I'll be staying with Richard and Maria. Woo! That'll be so fun. And again, all of these prices, I had them in euro, and I've just transferred them into US dollars. So anyway, another $25 just for incidentals and souvenirs, things like that. I will be staying there and through the 30th. And this transportation on the rental car, the $28, I looked up on ChatGPT how much it cost for gas if you're driving like average of 150 miles a day. I don't know if I'm going to drive that much, maybe not, maybe more, but at the current price of petrol, they said it should cost $28 a day. I don't believe that, but that's what ChatGPT said. I'm thinking it might be more, But anyway, I'm going to believe ChatGPT on this one and just go with it. So food, $50 a day, entertainment, $25 a day. This is like, you know, figuring I'm stopping at little roadsides. If I see a sign that says horseback riding, I'm stopping and I'm going horseback riding because I love horseback riding. And then here's this from November 1 to November 8. This is just, they're the same day over and over. What you're not seeing here is that I have not made any reservations for hotels. I'm just going to see where the universe takes me. We did this when we were in Ireland, and it seems kind of crazy to some people, but we would get up in the morning and the night before we would have discussed like, hey, where do you want to go tomorrow? Let's drive to this town. And we would just look up on hotels.com app and put in all the parameters of what we needed in a hotel and picked one and just put that in the map. And that's where we drove to and then spent the day or the afternoon in that town just exploring. So it's really fun. Try it. So for those dates, the 1st through the 8th, I'm just basically going where the wind takes me. I'm going from Villeneuve-sur-Lot, heading up, going through Angoulême for sure, up into Normandy, Brittany, going down the coast, and I have to find my way back to Bordeaux. So all of these calculations, the rental car, again, $28 a day. And this may be true because there's some days where I may not drive very much at all. If I end up wanting to stay in a little town, like, ooh, I really like it here. I have the freedom to, just stay there and not do anything other than explore around that little town. So you never know what will happen. And I'm allocating about $130 a day. And the reason I'm using this price is because in the smaller towns, you can find very affordable hotels. I found hotels for $60 a night, $80 a night, $100, and they're nice places. They're not crappy. And there might be a time when I'm like, oh my gosh, I really want to get a suite and I want to take a luxurious bath and I'll get a more expensive place. So I figured 130 average was a good price to use. $50 a day, again, I'm allocating. I may want to go out for a fancy dinner, and then another day I may just eat croissant till I puke. Very possible on that one. And entertainment, again, souvenirs. I don't know what I'm going to come in contact with that I might be like, I can't leave without this. So I'm just putting it out there I may spend money, I may not. And then I'm going to come back. I'm going to drop the car off in Bordeaux on the 9th. And then I'm going to catch the train, maybe back to Paris. I say maybe because if I really love Bordeaux, I may just spend a couple more days there, see how I feel. And if I got enough of it the first time around, maybe I take the train up to Angoulême and spend a day there. Maybe I go back to Paris. I don't know. I'm going to see how I feel. But anyway, I've allocated more for a hotel in Paris because it's Paris. And more for food, more for entertainment because I might want to go see some shows, go to some bigger museums, things like that. And then back on British Airways. Now, I got my flight with a lot of miles and $500, but that got me a flight from Paris to London to Seattle. I think that was a really great deal, and I've been saving up the miles for a really long time, so that's what I wanted to spend them on. And then there you go, $7,233. I'm going to take a moment and I'm going to do the math of how much that is in euro and how much that is in pounds. Okay, like magic, 6,117 in euro, 5,306 in pounds. So if anybody's looking, now this is for a 3-week trip. And again, your flight costs are going to be different. If you are traveling with 2 people, of course, the flight costs will be doubled, and but the hotel should be the same because you're sharing one room. Food costs will be a little bit more, but I would say you could up the price by 50% if it is 2 people because you're both buying stuff and eating and all that good stuff. So There it is. That's about how much I plan to spend. Now, I will do another video when I'm done, and I will tell you if that is what happened. I'm going to keep track of everything because part of this is associated with work because I might be looking at several Jeep businesses to buy. So I'm going to be keeping very good tabs on how much I spend. All right. I hope you found this useful, and like and subscribe for more great information, and stay tuned because it's going to be a fun trip, and I'm going to hopefully be vlogging every single day from the road in France. All right. Au revoir.